Good evening. Tonight we turn our attention to a story unfolding in Afghanistan, a story of transformation, uncertainty, and ambition. For years, the Taliban were synonymous with conflict, their name evoking images of war, destruction, and a nation in turmoil. But today, the landscape is changing. Now they're building roads instead of planting bombs, trading weapons for blueprints and shovels. As Afghanistan's new rulers, the Taliban are channeling scarce resources into massive infrastructure projects, hoping to lay the foundation for a new era. This shift from insurgency to administration is a dramatic, underreported change since the fall of Kabul, marking a turning point in the country's history. The group that once tore down the state is now trying to build it, tackling projects that eluded previous better-funded governments and attempting to prove their legitimacy through action. Canals, dams, and highways are reshaping the landscape, with the ambitious Kosh-Tepe Canal aiming to transform agriculture in the north and bring new hope to struggling farmers. For a government isolated and cash-strapped, these ambitions seem almost impossible. International aid is scarce, and sanctions have left the economy in tatters. Yet, construction continues, fueled by a desire to project competence and control, and to show both Afghans and the world that they can govern, not just fight. The Taliban's new focus on nation-building is a stark contrast to their past, when development was nearly non-existent and hope was in short supply. They now realize that military victory isn't enough. They must provide services, jobs, and a vision for the future if they hope to maintain power and win over a skeptical population. These projects are their most visible promise of a different kind of rule, one that aspires to stability, progress, and perhaps even prosperity. But whether that promise can be fulfilled remains to be seen. For many Afghans, hope is cautious, and the future is still uncertain. What exactly are the Taliban building in Afghanistan today? Beyond the headlines, what are the tangible projects shaping daily life under their rule? Their construction efforts now reach into nearly every corner of the country, touching both cities and remote villages. The Kosh-Tepe Canal, a massive 285-kilometer waterway, is designed to transform agriculture and make Afghanistan self-sufficient in wheat, reducing reliance on imports. Major dams like Pashdan, once stalled, are being revived to provide much-needed electricity and irrigation for farmers, powering homes and fields alike. Roads are a top priority, completing highways and paving rural routes to connect isolated communities, making travel and trade easier for everyone. In Kabul, city beautification and sanitation projects are underway, with cleanup crews and new infrastructure, alongside ambitious plans to upgrade regional airports for better connectivity. Unlike previous governments, the Taliban are funding these efforts with their own limited revenues, not relying on foreign aid or international donors. It's a bold attempt to prove they can build a functioning nation on their own terms, shaping Afghanistan's future with their own hands and resources. Why this sudden focus on construction? What's driving the Taliban to pour resources and energy into these massive infrastructure projects seemingly overnight? The answer is a mix of pragmatism and a deep desire for legitimacy. The Taliban know that to govern effectively, they must address the country's urgent needs and prove their capability to both Afghans and the world. By delivering jobs, clean water, and reliable electricity, the Taliban hope to win public support, reduce unrest, and stabilize the nation. These projects are also a way to show ordinary Afghans that life can improve under their rule. Economic self-sufficiency is key. Projects like the Kosh-Tepe Canal are designed to boost agriculture, create new opportunities, and reduce Afghanistan's reliance on imports and foreign aid, making the country more resilient. Nationalism is another powerful driver. These megaprojects are framed as proof that Afghans can succeed on their own without foreign intervention, and that the country can stand tall and proud. By completing what past governments couldn't, the Taliban seek to consolidate power, erase the failures of previous regimes, and forge a new, unified national identity for Afghanistan. Internationally, these efforts are a calculated attempt to show the world they're a responsible government, not just an insurgency, and to open doors for future diplomatic and economic engagement. Ultimately, it's a high-stakes gamble, one aimed at gaining both domestic acceptance and, eventually, global recognition as Afghanistan's legitimate rulers. For ordinary Afghans, these projects bring both hope and hardship. Construction sites offer jobs and inject cash into struggling communities. New canals and roads promise better harvests and easier access to markets. But the focus on grand projects often means less funding for urgent needs like healthcare and education. Many, especially women and girls, see little benefit as their rights remain restricted. The influx of workers strains local resources, and some fear favoritism in who benefits. For most, the promised improvements are still distant, overshadowed by daily struggles. The Taliban's long-term vision often clashes with the immediate needs of the people. The Taliban's construction drive faces serious risks. Funding is unstable, and a downturn could leave projects unfinished. Environmental and diplomatic tensions are rising, especially over water diverted from shared rivers. Technical expertise is in short supply after many professionals fled the country. Poorly built infrastructure could pose catastrophic risks. Still, these projects mark a pivotal shift, from insurgency to state building. Success could bring hope and stability. Failure could deepen Afghanistan's crises. The world is watching to see if the Taliban can truly build a nation, or if their ambitions will collapse under their own weight.